What is up? We're coming to you live from the cat house in Montebello, California. Everything is just discombobulated today. No, don't show your face, Tiger. We don't want your face on the internet. This little kid can turn around at the drop of a hat. But here we are. It's Monday night. This is what we do. To start off, we almost didn't have a show tonight. No, yeah, seriously, I was probably ready to just not do the show tonight. It's Monday. Yeah, I skipped the usual intro. Dre's Geek Philosophy. Nonsense. Yes, Baby Dre is right here with me because Mommy, I had to take Mommy to the hospital at 5 in the morning today. It turns out my poor wife, we'll just lead off with that. Let's just start off with that. My wife, what we thought was an upset stomach turned out to be appendicitis, and I drove me and the kid here drove Mama to the hospital this morning at 5 in the morning, and it's been Daddy Dre care. I called out of work, and it's just been me and the little guy here all day long. So yeah, I did not prepare for the show, one iota. I mean, I kind of had a framework. Art Solorio sent me a whole bunch of stuff that I didn't get to review. Actually, and she had appendicitis. She had surgery. She's okay. Let me just. I'm burying the lead there. She's fine now. She's been messaging me. She's recovering. She theoretically, hopefully, should be home tomorrow. But she's fine. She's been messaging me. She just sent me a good luck with the show. And honestly, her telling me to good luck with the show was like, I guess it was that push that I needed, because I almost just didn't do the show. I was just going to be like, nope, not doing the show. All right, kid, you're going to have to go lower, because I can't let you, I promised your mother you wouldn't be on camera. Your back will be on camera. The back of your head will be on camera, young man. So yeah, it's been Daddy Dre Care, the sequel, because just like 5 months ago after this guy was born, there was 3 days of Daddy Dre Care. And we're doing Daddy Dre Care again, where it's just been me and this dude. And he got to have formula today for the first time. Because obviously, Mommy can't breastfeed from the hospital. And can't breastfeed while she's unconscious. So we had to bust out the high-quality formula that we've been sitting on for a little while. And the kid is... yeah, come back. Yeah, I don't know if I'll come back later this week. Because I don't know how long Daddy Dre Care is going to be. Because... not sure if Mommy can even lift the kid. I might have to miss work all week. I don't know. We're gonna see. But that's just what's happening right now. I got this guy. It's been me and him all day. He had his formula, and today I learned that formula poops are much stinkier than breast milk poops. Yes. That's your daddy update. So it's gonna be, I don't know. We'll see how much I can crank out. He was totally cool and chilling next to me right up until 7:59. 7:59, he's like, nope. I know things are happening. I need to speak and I need to complain and I want you to hold me, Father. And that's I'm holding the big guy right here. He's grabbing onto my shirt. My adorable mini me, my little guy. And yeah, Formula One's right. We got the nice friggin' Happy Baby organic formula, but ooh man, those poops today, holy jeebus! He was dropping the heat, so to speak. And then my best friend Jai was telling me, just wait till he gets to solid food, and then it's all yeah. We're on the road to solid food in a month or so. This guy turned 5 months last week. So what the framework I had this week, what I was going to talk, well, originally, Art was awesome, sent me a whole bunch of stuff, because last week, the PlayStation 5 was announced, and a whole bunch of things were going on. So, all right, good. You can look forward, but you can't be on camera. Awesome. So, the PlayStation 5 was announced, a whole lot of stuff was with it, and all kinds of craziness. But, again, like I said, Art was awesome and sent me a whole bunch of information that I was unable to look at, because... Baby. Yeah, yesterday I was busy all day with baby, cause yeah, like Mama didn't feel well yesterday, so Papa was doing and taking care of the baby as much as he could yesterday. I thought poor Rosa had a stomach ache, but no, appendicitis. But she's okay. She's okay. She's texted me. She had the surgery. She's on the mend. Depending on, I don't know how invasive surgery was, she should be home tomorrow. And then this little guy, I think he's missed her a few times. But as I was saying, yeah, so like big announcements were happening last week in video games. But what I wanted to talk about, I guess, what I pieced together was, as you know, as a crazy person, you know, we do this show primarily on Facebook Live. We put it out as a podcast as well, but then we put it on YouTube. Eventually, someday I'll catch up on YouTube. My hotspot isn't good enough to do it from here at home, and I've been so busy at work I can't upload them at work like I've been doing before. All my Facebook memories, you know, I've been looking at and so like for the past week, all my Facebook memories are all E3 related because last week there was supposed to be the Electronic Entertainment Expo, but clearly that didn't happen. Good old coronavirus, COVID-19. Wiped that off and any other show off the face of this earth temporarily, and honestly, I think it might be the end of that show. You know, for years, usually this week, this is when we go on and on about how E3 is dying. E3 is dying. Back when Sam and I we'd be doing the show, we lament, oh, it's the E3 is not like it used to be. Oh no, E3 sucks now. E3 is not fun. E3 this, E3 that, and we constantly lament what E3 used to be. And honestly, what happened with its cancellation this year, you know, see, Art says poor E3 needed a break. Honestly, I think a break is probably the worst thing that could have happened to E3, because now I feel everyone is realizing they can just do everything without the show. Sony, you got to see that? They spent an hour and 20 minutes doing nothing but trailers, hitting everybody with all the information they needed, and that didn't cost them a bunch of floor space and a bunch of brand ambassadors models that they had to hire to stand next to PS5s. They just asked the dev teams to put together a bunch of videos. They slap them together in a video, post it on the internet, and yeah. They don't need E3, and it looks like all these game developers probably don't need E3 anymore. This is kind of going to be a revelation for all these. Hey, we don't have to spend all that crazy money. We don't have to fly all the LA. I'm sure, you know, a lot of them will miss the fact they could get together and do business. I know my boss at work, you know, he kind of hated going to E3, but you know, for him it was like because he had to go and meet with all the publishers and take meetings and figure out how much crazy orders of games we were going to make for the calendar year. All right. Yeah, see that right there. Art says media coverage so much easier now via Twitch and YouTube. It's like the internet, the accessibility via the internet, so much easier now. That you don't need a big, you know, in 1997 when it first started. Yeah, you still needed. It was primarily print media. And everybody flew down, and the internet was still barely in its infancy. Ha! Infancy! Ha ha! Double entendre. Yeah, oh, you like that, huh? You like that quick little pop-up. Now we have Zoom, yeah. We have Zoom. And it's funny, I keep having... Oh, hello there she is, everyone! Hey, there's Rosa! There's Rosa, guys, everybody! She's watching from her hospital bed. Hello, my love. Hello. Tiger's butt says hi. Yeah, Twitch had 4 million views. Yeah, the E3 press conference. Yeah, they don't need it. It's unnecessary now. It's that's why it's gone. And you know, it's but I will miss. I am not here to bury E3. I'm here to remember it. He smiled. Yeah, he smiled. Whoop. Ah. Mommy's watching you. Mommy can see the back of your head. Mommy can see the back of your head, Bubba's. Mommy, and then she saw your smile. Oh, yeah, you smiled. You smiled. Even me, yeah, right there. Art says even memes are free advertisement. Even babies, but I could put, you know, Nintendo Switch right here, and that'd be better advertisement. But yeah, like I said, I am not here to bury E3. I'm here to remember it. Because that's what's been, like I said, that's what's been going on every morning when I check Facebook and I obsessively check my memories. I see all of these posts that I made throughout the years of all times I've gone to E3. And you know what? Hey, your mother's watching. You can't be on camera. You can't show your face on camera. Back down you go. Back down you go. Back on my knee. And so, I had a lot of great times at E3. And I wish a lot more people could have had those great times. I was very fortunate all those years of working in the video game industry in some way, shape, or form. Working for Nintendo. I would take a drink, but I'm holding a baby. All those years being able to go. And, I see all the silly shit I would do. Like, one of my favorite things to do, there's this company called, I think they were PDP. They're an accessory company. And they'd bring a whole bunch of accessories and just put them on display. But the one thing they'd always bring, they used to bring this giant Hello Kitty kind of a statue. And one year I decided, I'm going to go take a photo with the Hello Kitty statue. I'm just going to go take a photo with it and do a silly pose. And every year that would probably be my most liked or most reaction photo every year of me hugging Hello Kitty, me lifting Hello Kitty, me. If I could have got away with it, I would have done the Dirty Dancing. I would have lifted up the Hello Kitty up like I'm holding Tiger. And yeah, that was always fun to do silly stuff like that. And there was one memory where it was it was for Epic Mickey 2, and you could line up and you can get an official Disney pair of ears, but it wasn't the typical Mickey ears. They were Oswald ears. They were the longer bunny ears, and I waited in I think it was a 2-hour line. We all had I'm not sure if it was our DSs or our 3DSs at that point, but we had our gaming devices so we could weather the line. And yeah, it was a Hello Kitty. Yeah, when I say Hello Kitty, yeah, no, they always had this giant Hello Kitty, and I love taking a photo with it. There's one year where we waited 2 hours in line, and I got a pair of Oswald ears, and then because you would wait in line, and you give them your name, and they etched the name on the back like they would at Disneyland. And it was really cool there. It was a nice way to promote and that was the kind of stuff that they used to do at E3, because it was primarily back then it was more for people who were in the industry and a bunch of sly motherfuckers who would sneak in. But over the years, as I've said before on the show, I'm sure all these companies have noticed that the number of people who were sneaking in, you are pulling down my shirt, kid. You're giving me a V-neck. My child is pulling my shirt down if you're watching the video here. If you're listening to this in the podcast form, this is doing absolutely nothing for you. But if you're watching the Facebook video, my child is being silly. And I lost my young man derailed my train of thought there. Oh, all these companies started noticing that there was way more people who were just sneaking in just to be there than actual industry people who were there to make decisions. And I think that was truly what the downfall of the Electronic Entertainment Expo was. But who could blame them? I think it was the year before I started going. Nintendo was giving out mugs of beer for Conker's Bad Fur Day. It was cool stuff like that. You hear stories like that. I think my first year, Nintendo was giving out Game Boy Advances. Like if you waited in the long line, and you got to the little, they had a spinning wheel thing, and if you got lucky, you could go home with a Game Boy Advance back then. $150, back in those days. Who wouldn't want to try to get one of those? A bunch of gamers hear about this this Disneyland-like place of video games. Was it my first year? I believe it was 2001. It was like Kingdom Hearts. Oh, buddy, what's wrong, buddy? You want to sit down? You want to sit down here? You want to sit down? Want your woman up? Take your woman up. All right, take your woman up. All right, he got his woman up. Here's it. Well, what's up, buddy? You want to come back up? What you want? You want to woman up, or you want to come back up? Yeah, the first year I went, it was a 2001 Kingdom Hearts was announced, or they actually had a playable demo of it. Nowadays, if there's a playable demo of something, you'd have to wait in a enormously stupid line. But back then, 2001, there was like 30 demo stations at the Square Enix booth just playing the first level of Kingdom Hearts, and I could just walk up and play it, no problem. Back when the GameCube was coming out, if I wanted to play, I could, within the span of 15 or 20 minutes, I played Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, I played Metroid Prime, and Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes. Just because I could just walk up, play it for a few minutes. All right, cool. I got to try it. Walk over to to the next demo station. There was no lines. A Nintendo booth with no lines. Nowadays, that's an unheard of thing now. Trying to go to the show. But back then, you could just try everything. It was just because back then, especially one of those first few times I went, it was pretty much industry only, with the exception of a bunch of local GameStops yahoos who took advantage of the ESA's lack of foresight. And they're like, oh, all right, this person works for GameStop, that's fine. But they don't check to see, oh, is this person a buyer? No, it's a game advisor. But you know what? The benefit of living in Los Angeles, right? I remember seeing that there'd be people who GameStop employees would realize this, and they would fly in. It was like their vacation. They'd fly in. I remember I ran into this guy he was from South Carolina, and he came out to E3. He registered for it. He got himself a hotel room. I was like, wow, dude. I got out of bed, drove to the convention center. Sorry, bro. I guess there's a few benefits for living here in LA, aside from dealing with the terribly high rent, but the really nice weather, although it's real hot as balls today. E3 was a lot of fun. It was a thing I really look forward to every year, especially once I started getting further in the industry, and then I got a bunch of friends to go with. Once I was going with a bunch of friends, that was really awesome. I remember when the first time I went with my buddy Jai and a few of our other coworkers, that was a lot of fun. I remember we had a good time. That was really great. And there was another time me and a bunch of my Nintendo coworkers, we all went together. Yeah, Rosa, I've been awake since 5 a.m. Yes, I have been awake since 5 a.m. I think I snuck in a few minutes of sleep when this guy was sleeping. But yeah, I've been up the entire time since 5 a.m. Taking care of this guy and being worried about you, wifey. But I'm less worried now that you're okay. As I was saying. Yeah, well, once I was a bunch of my Nintendo coworkers, we'd all go together, and then there was one year they gave us, you could bring 3 guests. Nintendo got a bunch of guest passes, because I think it was the year they were debuting the Wii U, and they wanted a bunch of people who were going to be excited about Nintendo to come down. And so it's funny, each of the Nintendo players, we all got to bring 3 people, so I had my own little motley crew of, I brought a couple of my former GameStop coworkers, and I brought my brother, and I was like, all right, cool, let's all go have fun, and we had a blast. Run around the men's center. And then honestly, I think that was probably the last really fun E3 I had. Because I think the year after that, that's when I had left Nintendo. I think it was it was 2012. Yeah, that was 2012 E3. And in 2013, I got a pass because they, like I said, the ESA was not really good with checking records and stuff. All I had to do was say, yes, I still work there. Please renew my alumni registration. Ha ha ha. And I took a day off from working at Disney, and I went with one of my Disney coworkers who he also had a pass. Well, that was okay. We walked around. He was nerdy out because I think he was his first or second E3. I remember we left and got burgers afterwards. I think the year after that, I think I managed to get in. I think one of my Nintendo buddies let me. He wasn't going to go one of the days. He was like, I'm tired. You want to go one of the other days? And I walked around by myself, and that wasn't fun. It's like, again, going to any convention by yourself, that's not fun. You need other people. I think that's like the not fun. Like if you've been checking on Facebook the last couple of days, there's been a few videos. I think that was 2016. I think that was the last time I went. I think it's on live support. I don't see it coming back next year, or if it does come back next year, they're not going to have a lot of the big companies. I think that it's in a lot of trouble. I think, like I mentioned earlier, this not being around has really exposed the fact that a lot of these companies don't need to spend the millions. Because EA was the first one who realized, because EA would spend millions of dollars building this giant booth to showcase all their games, and hold meetings, and then I think at the end of the day, this terrible term, return on investments. The return on that investment was not great for EA. I mean, they're making money hand over fist, but I think somebody at EA realized we're not getting value out of this. They could just as easily fly people to one of their campuses and show them the games and get the same amount of press coverage. Or, as they were doing, if they wanted to have people play the games, they started setting up shop across the street at LA Live and doing their own little EA Play event, which probably cost them a fraction of what they were spending before. And they're just letting people walk up and play Madden or play whatever sports games they just wanted to let people try out. A more controlled environment for them instead of having a bunch of yahoos just looking for free stuff. They could control, all right, yahoos looking for free stuff. We're going to do something small outside. Here you go. Enjoy yourselves. And make themselves look like heroes. Like, oh, you don't need an E3 badge to come to EA Play. Oh, turn it on its head. Hey, look. Non-badge areas. And that's what's happening in a lot of these conventions. You know, San Diego Comic-Con has a lot of non-badge things. Nintendo does that every year at San Diego Comic-Con. They have a big booth where you don't need a Nintendo badge. If you happen to be in San Diego, you can just roll on in. But yeah, I constantly every year I would come on here, you know, me and Sam or Pete would nod appreciatively and try to understand. I always put it from Pete's perspective like San Diego Comic-Con, like it's the same thing, like that. The same thing that's been happening at E3 is happening to San Diego Comic-Con. These big giant conventions that people, you know, have what do you call it? Well, what's the word I'm looking for? They have. The expectations are far too high. They set these high bars of like, oh, I'm gonna go to this show and it's gonna be the most greatest experience of my life, and it's not what it used to be. Like the story, too many people are going to these shows, especially now the last few years where E3 has been literally just selling badges to people. They're like, all right, you want to come here, Gamer Pass. Here you go, yahoos. You don't have to sneak in. You can just pay now. You just pay us directly instead of having to pay. Because what a lot of people would pay some other company. Some undetermined amount. That's how my brother used to get in. He'd just pay this electronics company would literally sell badges. They'd be like, all right, we'll pretend that you're on our payroll, and you get an E3 badge. You just pay us whatever amount of money, and then I guess the ESA realized, hey, we can just collect this cash. Why are we letting all these other people make this money? We can get this money because they clearly stopped getting that money from EA. Then Activision got tired. And they pulled out. And then the awkwardness of last year where Sony just didn't show up at all. They're not going to... Clearly, now that the amount of press they got just from doing their own show, yeah, they're never going back to E3. Nintendo, you know, inadvertently may have started this wave because they realized, wow, we do this big press conference. Let's just pre-record something, release it around the time we would have been doing our press conference, let everybody watch. And now that's like the new way to get your that's not even the new way. That's the most convenient way to disseminate your information now. Drop it on YouTube, put it on Twitch, put a live stream on YouTube. Yeah, put a live stream out, and make the announcements yourself. Yeah, it's exciting, isn't it, Tiger? And I think that's what's been happening to, you know, E3. But I will lament. Like I said here, I am not here to bury E3. I'm here to praise what it used to be. I had a lot of good times at E3. I think when Smash Brothers Wii U was coming out, I remember I was like, I'm not going to get any swag. And I'm like, let me wait in line. I just want to play this game. Like, if you win the match, you get a shirt. I'm like, all right, cool. I am not good at Smash Brothers. But somehow, I by pure luck, because that's what a lot of Smash Brothers is. It's pure luck. Yeah, E3 hit its apex in 2005 or 2006. That was its apex. Yeah, E3 hit its apex in 2006, and that's when everything was out of everything was out of control then. And it's funny because in 2007, all the game developers rebelled in 2007, and they had a really small show. They did it in an airport hangar in Santa Monica. Everybody got a 6-foot white table like you'd see at a regular comic book convention, and it was this very egalitarian, very socialist, communist way. Like everyone gets the same table, you know, whether it's Nintendo or Sony or little Natsume or little Atlas. Everyone got the same amount of space. Everybody got a 6-foot table and 2 monitors to show their wares. And then I guess everybody's like, oh, this isn't that cool. And the following year, and it was invite only. They only invited like 1,000. They literally just only invited the press, and that was it. And the following year, they did something similar, but they did it at the convention center, but only in the concourse hall, not the West Hall, the South Hall, but just the concourse hall. And they did something similar where everybody just got a meeting room, and you just go in and have your meetings, and that was it. And it was decided in '09. All right, we'll bring back E3, but it's what they brought back was a zombie of. I guess I remember that was like the beginning of the end, because I remember walking up to the Capcom booth, and the entire booth was enclosed, except for like they had 6 demo units. They had 3 demo units on the right for one fighting game. They had 3 demo units on the left for some other game, and all the games that people actually wanted to play were behind the barrier, and you had to walk up, and then I guess they were like, nope, press only. You had to have made an appointment. We have to show some legitimate credential of press, because they know, I mean, in '09, they knew people were just walking in, doing whatever they want. People were sneaking in, and they were trying to limit it, and everybody, well, they were trying not to, they were cracking down on there's no booth babes, there's no loud music, because, man, it was kind of like a crazy rave sometimes, because every booth was trying to be louder than the other back in, from when I went from '01 to '06, it was just like crazy loud, free stuff everywhere, all kinds of madness, half-naked women everywhere. Because hey, come to our booth, check out all these chicks. That was like it was like a Vegas convention. That's kind of what it was. And then they instituted rules like no, when they brought it back in '09, they're like, all right, we brought back the show. We have all these rules. Where a lot of people were mad. Oh, where did all the booth babes go? Like me, I was like, I don't care about the booth babes going away. I care about the demo units going away. Hey, I can't play anything anymore. '01, '06, I could play everything. I would go all 3 days. I will have literally have played every game, and the games I really liked, I would have played 2 or 3 times. And the last few times I went, I could count the number of games I played on one hand. Like that 2016, these videos that you've seen of myself, Sam Zia, and Lamar. Harmonix had teamed up with PDP, and they were doing that Rock Band Rivals, and so they set up a Rock Band stage, and I guess a lot of these people don't want to play Rock Band. They're like, oh, a lot of your typical nerds or geeks. Oh, I don't want to go up there on stage. Where you got Lamar and Sam and me, you got 3 big ass hams. Like, we fucking love Rock Band and we love fucking performing. Fuck yeah. I think we just kept going to that booth all day. I remember I performed like 4 or 5 times, 2 of which were documented clearly. And then I know Lamar just was all day going back to that. And I think from that E3, that was probably one of only like 3 games I played. I played Rock Band Rivals, which is literally the exact same game I already have at home in Rock Band 1, 2, 3, whatever, 4, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, that was the only fun game that was where you could walk. You literally, like, the wait time was 5 or 10 minutes. There might have been 1 or 2 bands ahead of you. All right, however long their song takes, 5 minutes. All right, cool. And then, or like me, Sam, and Lamar, like we go up. Like, let's perform Cult of Personality. All right, cool. Get out of line. All right. Lamar's turn. You pick a song. Pearl Jam's Jeremy. All right, cool. Let's get out of line. Let's go back up. All right, my turn. I want Queens of the Stone Age, 3s and 7s. Go back up. All right, Lamar. Boom. Def Leppard. Photograph. I remember the songs because it was just so much fun. We had so much fun. They're like, oh yeah, this is the best booth. This is the best booth in the entire convention. Screw Nintendo. I think that might have been like Breath of the Wild. We had to wait like 3 or 4 hours to play Breath of the Wild. Screw that. I'm not gonna wait for. I only had like 6-7 hours that day anyway. I'm not gonna spend half of it to wait for one game. I think that was eventually like my old man complaint. It was like, we're just spending all day waiting in line, and no. And that's what's happening at all these other conventions, like San Diego Comic-Con and Anime Expo. It's called Line Con. There's a line to get inside to get your ticket. And that is just, I guess that's the side effect of nerd culture being mainstream now. That would be the only way to explain it. is that now that it's acceptable, everyone wants to go. Which, it's cool. On one hand, all right, it's acceptable to be a nerd and to be a geek. But on the other hand, you can't enjoy it the way you used to, when it used to be very excluded. Well, I don't know, we weren't excluding normal people. People were kind of shunning it and pretending it didn't exist. You could have comic book conventions in a hotel ballroom, and you could meet all the creators, and it was very easy. Now it's very difficult to go to a comic book convention. Well, currently, right now, in the state of the world is you can't go to any conventions at all. It's just insane to think about. We all lament, oh, E3, oh my God, oh, poor E3. Yeah, I mean, E3, half E3 did it to itself, and the other half was just the evolution of the times. That's what got that show at the end of it. Will it be back next year? I don't know. It'll be a shadow of its former self. I'm sure a lot of the smaller publishers will still want to do it. Like the publishers that are not like Nintendo, or like obviously your console makers are kind of getting away from it. And I think a lot of your bigger developers like a Capcom, or obviously Activision walked away, EA walked away. Capcom last year at E3, they literally only had one game at their booth. Just one game. It was the entire booth was just Monster Hunter World. I mean, it was their most successful game of all time. Apparently, it's their most successful game of all time. Even more successful than Resident Evil or Street Fighter. Yeah. Bethesda, ironically, Art, last year was the first time Bethesda had a booth that you could actually walk up to. There were lines. But Bethesda had notoriously been kind of like, nope, stay away from us. I remember one booth or one publisher that had always been kind of like, stay away from us. It was LucasArts. They were always like, stay away, we don't want you in here. And then Bethesda used to always just have a big black monolith of a booth that it was invite only. Even in the old days, it was invite only. I remember like, that's weird. Bethesda didn't want any demos back then. Like I said, ironically, last year, you can go to our YouTube page. I have a video of the Bethesda page. Yes, young man. Don't worry, I'm gonna be wrapping. I'm gonna wrap it up here in a few minutes, buddy. Don't worry. I know you're getting all feisty. I know you want to come back up here. You wanna rest on Daddy. All right, I know. Yeah. Bethesda has always required press badges. Like last year was the first time. Xbox. I'm sure they don't want to. They're starting to see that it's a theoretical waste of their money. The promotion that E3 is not what it once was, which sucks. But it's a sign of the times. Sign of the times, my friends. That's why our good buddy Pete Molini throws his own small little convention, which feels more like an old-timey convention. Which we couldn't throw this year because of the obvious reasons. But, hopefully next year, or the year after that, we can bring back the old East LA Cape. To try to bring back that old-timey feeling convention where you can go to. But as far as video games goes, I think we just have to... this new reality where if we want to try something, we have to download a demo or watch someone play it on Twitch or YouTube. Or just wait for it to come out and wait for it to drop in price in 2 weeks, because that's what happens to a lot of these games anyway. They come out at $60, but all you gotta do is be patient. Unless it's a game from Nintendo, you'll be able to get it for $40 in a few weeks, or if you wait long enough, you wait for the Game of the Year version in 6 months or 9 months, and you just pay $40 for $100 worth of content. Game industry. Yeah, there was a very angry blog I wrote several years ago where I was complaining about how the game industry was killing itself. And lo and behold, it continually does kill itself. It's still doing the things that I complain about. Yeah, Black Friday price in 2 weeks nowadays. You used to have to wait till Black Friday. I remember waiting. I'm going to wait till Black Friday to get some of these games that come out in October, just so I can get them real cheap. But now it just happens all year long. You don't have to wait. Someone will discount it. Mortal Kombat 11. I feel bad for anyone who bought that game day one, $60. Sorry. All right, young man. All right. My executive producer, Tiger, is calling. All right, here. How about, you want to come up? You want to come up? You want to come up? All right, come on up. All right. My executive producer here is, again, a little testy. I'm not sure. He might need a nap. And Daddy yapping his gums over and over. I certainly, yeah. See, Ryan, I'm sure you just got Mario Kart 11 for probably a very good price. Probably nowhere near $60. Hell, you might have got that one that has all the DLC in it, all together, for a good price, I'm sure. Yeah, because now because all these developers there's no incentive to release a complete game. Let's just release portions of games. Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. Okay, big man. All right. All right. All right. Well, sorry, everyone. Yeah, formula will make him sleep good tonight. Well, we're gonna find out here in a little bit. All right, for my little man here. We're always have stuff here in the works on the show. I know last few weeks we had spent it. Remember, Black Lives Still Matter. Black lives still matter, and they're always going to matter. Just because I didn't go full friggin' civil rights, we'll wrap it up. Yep. Mommy's calling to wrap it up. Mommy's calling to wrap it up via Facebook Live here. Yeah, I'm working on some stuff on the side here. We'll hopefully get that up and running. As long as I'm the father of a toddler, it's going to be a challenge. Thank you for watching. Make sure to follow us. Instagram, Twitter, all that usual stuff. YouTube, Patreon, our awesome patrons. Ryan and Art were here. I guess Daniel was probably busy with his family. I'm sure he'll roll on in at 8:45 and wonder where we were. But, all right, this is great audio. I know, right? This is amazing audio. Baby crying in the background. Thank you for watching. We'll see you guys next week. I love you, wife. Wife, I hope you're feeling better. We'll see you guys next time. Good night.